Today's my second day being off of weed, being totally sober. Sobriety day numero dos. That's right. My head fucking hurts. And that's because I'm not eating enough food. And that's because I'm not hungry. And that's because I'm not smoking weed. So yeah, the loss of appetite has been pretty significant. I don't really have the desire to eat anything, and anytime I do eat anything, I get like a few bites in and then just nausea immediately. That's pretty par for the course. I've experienced that kind of withdrawal before with quitting weed. But yeah, today I have not had a particularly like high amount of cravings. It's only 2 p.m., so that could change, but I haven't really felt like I have to smoke right now. I mean, like I've definitely, like I felt like I was at work and there's a smoke shop right next to my work. I was like, "Oh, I could go to a smoke shop and just but nah. No, I'm going to commit to this because I am so tired of feeling like shit. And something I'm noticing here on day 2 is that my emotions are certainly stronger. And I mentioned in my last video that that was something that I was sort of missing as an artist. But right now, just as a person, it doesn't feel great to have the floodgates kind of like, and then like all the shit that has just been in the back of my head, like unable to come to the surface because I'm just smoking so much weed. All of that shit is now kind of poking its head out of the dirt and revealing itself. And it's pretty nasty, I'm not going to lie. It's I feel pretty I don't know. Right now I don't feel really anxious or depressed. I feel a little foggy, but I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on in my life, in my personal life, and in my filmmaking life. I'm not even going to get into it here because I don't need to. But that, in combination with me trying to quit weed, is like not a good thing. And it's making it a lot harder to commit to this. And it's crazy. Like, it's been a day and a half, and it feels like the longest day and a half ever. And I don't know, like something I just, something I thought about right before I turned the camera on is that I feel such a deep responsibility for the happiness of the people around me. That means that pretty much all of the behavior, all of the things that I do, all of the things that I say to other people are almost always in service of those people. It's almost like I'm a politician or a chameleon. Like I just appear as who I think the person in front of me would want me to appear. It's so suffocating and it's exhausting. I finally pinpointed what it is today, and I think it's because I'm not constantly high now. Like I have some sort of like cognitive awareness of myself, metacognition for all my fucking losers out there. It's hard, man. It's hard. And, like I did some research about it, and it's like, it stems from like emotional neglect. Like when you were a kid, you didn't receive the validation for your emotions the way that you needed. And so now you go out validating everybody else's emotions in the way that yours weren't. But then it's also, they call it, it's like a fawn response or something. Like you're just trying to keep everything placid and like pacify all the people around you so that you don't like incite any sort of negative emotions within them to avoid consequences, essentially. And so I'll open up a little bit right now. When I was a kid, my dad was a very angry person, and he hit me. And looking back on that now, I can see that I probably spent so much time as a little boy just trying to pacify my father, or maybe not even necessarily trying to pacify, but just trying to act in accordance with what I think he desires, like doing my absolute very best not to anger him, essentially. And I think that never went away. And I think it just carried on into my life. So yeah, so day two is crazy, man. Day 2 is crazy. We're having crazy revelations about the self, and oh man, I want, you know what? Yeah, I want to smoke. I want to smoke really bad. I would love to just have a cart, just and I would like fuck you guys and just be like, I still have all of my paraphernalia. Like I haven't thrown away any of my dead carts, but I actually think that's partially just because I don't really have anywhere to. I don't really have anywhere to throw it away, where my mom wouldn't see it, and I don't want my mom to know about this. I mean, like I'm 20, so at this point it's not like she could really do anything about it, but at the same time, like you get what I'm saying. You know, like if you have parents who aren't really too into to drug usage or that sort of thing, like it's scary. Even if you're an adult, it's scary to just be honest and upfront with them. But, you know, like just thinking about it right now, that might be like part of the equation that I use to solve my addiction. You know, like maybe being honest with my family would be an important step towards being honest with myself. But then again, I feel like I'm already being pretty honest with myself. I realize that I have an addiction and that it's bad for me and that I need to quit, and I am quitting. If you're addicted to something and you want to stop and one day you do stop, like cold turkey, you shouldn't go around telling people that you're quitting weed. You shouldn't tell yourself that you're quitting whatever drug you're quitting. You should just tell yourself you quit or tell people you quit, cuz saying you're quitting kind of has like the connotation that you're still doing it and that you haven't like committed fully. Yeah, so like I've been doing research about how to maintain cravings and or how to manage cravings and how to not feel really fucking awful while I'm getting off of this stuff. The advice is either to taper your usage, so like buy less potent THC or like smoke only in the evenings or like you can only smoke once a week or whatever, or go cold turkey. For me personally, like I know myself and I have tried that before to taper off my usage. I always end up becoming a daily user again because if it's within my grasp, if it's within my sight, like I do not have the self-control. Yeah, not a ton of updates on this one. I'll probably keep this one pretty short. I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say. I'm glad I'm doing what I'm doing. And last night I was playing the game with one of my friends and I was telling him like I don't even really see a reason to quit. That is, I do think that actually is kind of true. Like, I know that I should quit. I know that I shouldn't be smoking weed every day, that it shouldn't, like, I shouldn't depend on it. It shouldn't be the main thought in my head. I can't think of like a reason. And like off the top of my head, I would say, you know, like physically, it's not good. Physically, what I'm doing to my lungs, like that certainly cannot be good. But I think this is the weed talking. You know what I mean? Like, I can't really seem to reason with myself legitimately why I should quit weed. I certainly feel the mental effects of smoking so much weed. Like, I do feel foggy and weird. Even in this completely sober state, I am still sort of walking around in Silent Hill, which is not pleasant. And I can see how the weed would cause that. I think another good reason, like if you can't even think of any emotional or mental reasons, is just that like I've spent so much money on weed, like thousands and thousands of dollars, and I've only been using it for 2.5 years. I mean, the people that use it for like 5, 10 years, you could compare it to getting a coffee every morning, and it honestly probably is cheaper than getting a coffee every morning. But again, like it's like a coffee every morning, it's not a necessity and it is low-key a waste of money. Yeah, all right. I'm starting to bore myself. Enjoy this jumping in the pool montage with me and my girlfriend, and I'll see you tomorrow.